Welcome to another episode of the Planet Coaster Spooky Edition series. I know it's not really a spooky edition anymore, but it's kind of how I tag the whole series. Now it gets put in its playlist, so spooky's gonna stick till the end of this series. But look how many people we've got. So many people. That's a bunch of stuff to be in. We finally got a ride fixed. Apparently one broke while we were working on our build. Oh, this looks unpleasant to walk through in the day, that's for sure. Looks real cool at night, but in the day it looks like I'm trying to choke all of the poor visitors. So, I've gone through, kind of checked everything out. It's been a bit since the game's gotten to run. A lot of times when I'm doing this kind of building, I don't let the game run. Just because I want to see how things are going, and I don't want to make a bunch of mistakes and have it affect the people, so let's see about letting this go so we could see how people look when they come up this ramp thing. Gotta see how it looks when they enter. I did realize that I didn't exactly plan for this to look like a house that has a door that goes in. Like right here would make sense for the door, but it's open, so I don't know how to make it look like it. Maybe making it a door frame or something. Maybe find a way to create a door that looks like it's swung open. Wow. We gotta take this down to $3. It has very little prestige. Nobody wants to go on it. So we'll take it down in price. I just want somebody to go on it. I understand that it's not the coolest ride that's ever existed in Sense of Rides, but it's not done yet. I just need to see how tall you people are. Anyone? Any takers? You guys will be perfect. Let's go into this ride. Any guys think it's too scary? They think this is too scary. How is it too scary? It's fear, I'm okay. The fear's a little high, but it's not higher than anything else in the area. It's not ridiculous. I'm gonna be real mad if we miss somebody and they're like been through the line already. Oh, the milkshakes are too expensive. Alright, let's whoa, where are those guys going? What are you guys doing? I wish there was somewhere to sit down. Didn't you just pass a bench? Okay. Looks like this one. Where are we at? This person is too expensive. Do we even up the prices? Let's go $8.75, $8.75, and $8.75. Maybe that'll help. What do we got for extras? We have all the extras. Set on a lot. You guys had better appreciate. So we took the prices down on that. Maybe that'll help it go a little better. Too many people are trying to use everything, but, you know, I don't know that there's much I can do about that. Right now, I do want to put another shop. I was kind of thinking putting one here, but that's awful close to this set of shops. I don't know. Not sure. This fence looks nice around the house, but it kind of looks weird from this angle. Don't know how I'm going to work with it. But yeah, I don't know. Alright, let's see if we can get anybody. Let's just take the price and put it to $1. You guys can't deny that's a good deal. $1 to run on this. Thank you. Alright, so if we're going through the normal path, that's fine. That's some crazy hair. I thought that was the hat at first, but that's just his hair. That would be a pain in the butt to maintain. That is for sure. Alright, let's see. I feel like they're gonna be too tall for what I have built there. How's it going? Alright, so we're about to head up here. I'm gonna get ready to pause so I can get a good look at what's going on. Almost. That slip is so strange, but there's not really much I can do about it. So let's give this a good pause. You know, that's actually more room than I had anticipated it having. But are the teens, because I think these are 2 teens. Person? Ooh. Oh god. Alright. Let's head. Let me get to the where we can click on these people. Group information. Yeah, they're a group of teens. So are a group of teens shorter than adults? Or are teens kind of the same height? Let's see if we could find a group of teens next to a group of adults. Are you teens? No, you're adults. Okay, so this is a group of teens right here. And they do look like they're shorter than adults. Well, hopefully some adults get up in there and give it a try. Why is this guy grayed out? Huh. I wonder if that was the person we were clicked on. Quite possible. Feels like this is backwards. Why does it feel backwards? Alright, let's go. Let's get this ride going. So they got on real quick. They're waiting for the ride. They're waiting for it to fill up, but it's not going to do that anytime soon, I betcha. And then... I'm not sure how long they're spaced. Anybody else? Any other takers? Just 2 brave teens? Alright. Is this set to full? Probably is. Yeah, you can go at half load. Go ahead. Have fun on- oh, I ruined their ride! I'm sorry. Look at all those balloons. Nobody else wants to give this a try? This might end up being a problem. I don't know if it's because of the prestige that nobody wants to go onto it. It doesn't seem like that would cause as much of a problem. Yeah, I don't know. Missing finances, prestige, colors. Well, I don't know if I need to make adjustments or not. Because we only had teenagers in there. I need some adults to go in so I can see how tall they are. I mean, I don't think it would probably hurt to make adjustments on the height. I mean, I guess. The only part that sucks is I think if I do that, let's give it a try. I think if I take this and I give it a whirl, give it a move, go up 1 more space, how much does that give them underneath? Well, then we have the problem with this overhang right here being in the way, but I don't know. Does that give it enough of a difference? But then the clipping, it starts, and then I have to move all of this trim, which would be kind of a pain. I'm not sure. I don't think I can go any lower with this. But I guess I could give that a try. Also, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to make this look like a door. Because that would be where the door would be on a house, right? I wonder if I should have used the... let's go with the filter. The scenery... Nope. Content. Spooky. I think they have a version of this that's just a tunnel. Yeah, like this. Let's give it a little flip. Would that be nicer? Because then I wouldn't have to, like, put ceilings and stuff on it. That might be nice. Well, I like how open this arch is, so I guess I'll stick with my arches. Fine, I'll just put some roofs on it. Because I like the look that this was probably a driveway of some sort. In the house. I don't know why it goes right here in the middle of the house, but that's fine. I don't mind. So, I don't know. Let's see. Can we check this guy? No, I don't want that. I want the ride, please. Oh, I'm editing. Why can't I click on my ride? So, not queuing that long. Well, it's the only ride you got. Yeah, see, nobody's using this, and wow, the prestige just went up. Did you guys see that? It went from not even 1 star to 1.5. Is that the prestige kicking in? Can people start using it now? Okay, we've got some children. Ooh, these are gonna be adults. So we can check with these guys. Kiddo's fine. It's gonna be spacious for the kiddo, but let's see. Let's keep going. I guess the other thing I could do is there's those really thin, like these floor panels. I could get them to snap to these, and then I could remove this thing from underneath it. That might be a plan. We'll see how weird it is for this. For these adults. As long as nobody was particularly tall, this works. But if you're taller than average, you may be ducking through this area. The other thing I could do is move this path like out to the side of the house. I still kind of wanted it to be something for the ride that looked cool, but if we had it come out and over and then around the back and then entered, that might work better. Might make more sense, because trying to explain through decoration why this is happening is going to be a little awkward. That might be what we end up doing. Oh no, I finally got this thing working. But at least we know with more prestige people are interested in it, so it's not just the stats are going to be the only thing affecting the likelihood that they'll get onto this ride. Which I was kind of starting to worry there for a second. I want to redesign it. I think it's kind of cool. Still haven't figured out what I'm going to be doing through this area, but I guess we'll figure that out as we go. But I'm going to jump back into working on this now that you kind of know where I'm heading. So, yeah, here we go. The first thing that I go ahead and decide to tackle is that path. I decided that the path through the side made a lot more sense, and it was going to be a whole lot easier to work with. I replaced those upper walls where it just didn't line up and it didn't look good anyway, so I'm glad I was able to get rid of that. Then I readjust this path to go through the center, and I almost built it up against that wall, but I was afraid that it would clip through the pillars and such, and so I moved it out one space. Then it was becoming really hard to get it over the path or like the track, because of the angle that it slopes up in. So I scooted close to the wall. I kind of liked it. It kind of looked like it was leading up to the balcony. I actually even considered having the path go up and onto the balcony and then down into the entrance. If you guys think that would look better, go ahead and let me know. It certainly would make a very long queue, but they might be okay with it. I'm not sure. Then we added some arches into the, I'm just going to call it like the driveway or carriage entrance. I don't know. But it was to kind of help mark where I wanted to place stuff. But then having these matching the balcony outside, put them about a whole width above what I needed for that archway right here. You can see there's like a gap. So it took a little bit to decide how to tackle that. I was going to just put a second copy underneath the purple ones, except it was incredibly difficult to get it to do what I wanted. Like, it was trying to go all the way across the map and all kinds of stuff like that. So I just decided to move down the purple ones that I already had and deal with it that way. And then I decide to start tackling how I want to decorate it in here. I think. Oh no, we're gonna start the floor. So I wanted to use that like nice marble looking floor, but it won't snap to anything. So I had to put the same floor that we've been using for the balcony and the ceiling, and then snap the marble on top of that, which looks fine. It was a little hard to get to place in some of the places where the queue is. Not sure how to use that word, but then we had this tiny gap. Somehow things got off a little bit, so I just placed that one freehand and lowered it just a little bit below the other one so that there wouldn't be that weird clipping, but it covered up that space. I really like this wallpaper. It is so pretty. And I only put it on the inner walls. Some houses like to leave the outer walls the same as the outside, and the other reason is there's no like arch wallpapers or partial wallpapers. There's only the full sheet and then like a half in the height. So we weren't going to be able to deal with the doorways and all of that with this wallpaper, so I just decided to do those 2 walls and go with it. So I started decorating it as kind of like a lounge area with books and seating and a fireplace. Looks really nice for now. Kind of gets creepy as we go, but I put up some of these picture frames and I check out what types of pictures and videos we can have in them. I kind of wanted something creepy to be animated in there, but they don't really have all that many options. What we go with is actually an advertisement for one of the shops we don't have in the park yet, so that's a little unfortunate, but I liked how it looked like it was old-fashioned. And here we have the fireplace, and we went ahead with the bright green flames for the fun of it, adding books onto the counter next to that, not a swing, rocking chair. And I wanted that book that flies around next to that rocking chair, but it took up too much space when it was diving around, so that's where I ended up moving it. And as you can see, I'm now working on the bookcase. I wanted the bookcases to be full of books, as they do, but I also wasn't mentally prepared to place all of those on all 4 of those bookcases, so I decided to step out here and design it and make a scenery item out of it so that I could duplicate them and move them around. I considered doing just they have like the set of books, but they move, and so it would be overwhelming if with 4 shelves of 4 bookcases of 5 shelves of moving books. Kind of be overwhelming and not scary. So I decided to manually place a whole bunch of books on this shelf. I'm really surprised they don't have shelves that already come with the books on it, because this is a pain in the butt to do. Luckily I managed to get it to where, as I was placing it, I just click on the bottom and it'd replace it with the new book, and I could scoot it around without having to angle and spin it all over again and again, as I had to the first couple of times. Luckily with something like the scenery, it doesn't link them all together, so once I place it, I go ahead and I can move individual books to make them have a little variety. In this book I ended up changing the color, as well as this next one right here, that green. I changed them so they would match the books that had come in the set that move that are on the bottom shelf, because they're a completely different color scheme than the rest of the books. Here I'm setting up the scenery item for myself so that I can use this blueprint in the future, and especially right now because I'm doing all 4. And I knew that this fireplace was uneven, but I didn't want to take the time to move everything, but since I was replacing the bookcases and everything, I decided I might as well move the fireplace while I was at it. There does end up to be a problem with that, which is the flames, but we're not quite there yet. But here I'm trying to delete some books and rearrange books so that it's not as obvious of a copy paste as it would be with just having left it. Though, I mean, it's still pretty obvious because I didn't want to dedicate all of my time to moving these books around. As it was, I spent a ton of time on it, just perfecting it, but I think it looks really nice in the end. Moving the bottom one because it looked really weird, kind of mirrored, but not quite, so I moved that over and added in some extra books and little decorations onto the shelf, like a little skull and a hand, little skeletal hand goes up on that bookshelf. And here I realized that the flames are not centered, but I can't reach them because they're underground, and I have no idea how you grab something that's underground, so I just make a duplicate and set it on the 2 sides of logs and call it good. And then I decided to put some lighting in here. Might as well while we're at it, and otherwise it's gonna just be dark for them when it's night. Briefly, because it doesn't stay night very long in the normal gameplay, I guess. For some reason I continue to use the space as the pause or start button, but that actually takes away how the items turn. It takes them off of their like snapping points, which is really unfortunate, which is why I ended up deleting that light like several times. Here I'm doing some windows. I kind of wish I had decided a color beforehand. I also realized that there was clipping right there, so I stuck the border. But I wish I had decided to change the color before I placed all of the windows, but you know, whatever works. I decided to kind of go with a color that was similar to what the roof was. Couldn't get it exact, but I think it turned out fine anyway. Here I wanted to have a door that would look like a back door that would make sense in the house. There wasn't any place on the back that led to where the cat was because all of those books, so I put it on the side there. Moved those picture frames over. And here I realized that the entire house is hovering for some reason. I don't know when that happened or why it's happening. I don't think it was always that way because when I placed those pillars, I know I dragged them to the ground. So I don't know when I accidentally moved the entire build, but apparently at some point I did. And getting this, like, I'm covering almost like a foundation. But it was such a pain in the butt to get it to snap where I wanted to. Using the shift, it would stick up on the ceiling or on the roof, and it wouldn't move fast enough when I drag it, so it would barely move. And when I'd get it to where I wanted to, my mouse would then be over the bar with all of the items, and so it wouldn't register my clicking to place it where I wanted it to. Oh my god, it was such a pain in the butt. So here I'm going to start working on the door, and I'm actually going to end up kind of cutting it because I was about to go do like a build your own door workshop out of the bits and pieces because what I'm trying here isn't going to work because I wanted them to be like double doors that opened out, but then this door would be backwards and it wouldn't make any sense. So I'll show you here in a second what I actually end up coming with. I'm pretty happy with it, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Alright, one last little bit. So, at the end there, I was trying to figure out this door situation, and I don't know how well I managed it, but this is what I did. I got a door, and then I put some windows in it, because they don't do anything with the backs of the doors. You know, they imagine that most times the doors are being put up against the wall, and that's the end of the story, opposed to trying to have this look like the doors open and welcome them in. I don't know, but this is what I've gotten. Let's go ahead and take a wee bit of a tour in this place. So this is what we've accomplished on the interior. Let's go ahead and get it started, I suppose. We've got rocket chairs and floating books, and then over here we've got signs and these bookshelves, which were quite a pain. I'm sure I told you all about it. And I added this little thing for them to go through when they walk outside, and then they go up and around, back down, and into the line. Huzzah! I didn't get anything done with this bit yet, because getting this house interior and exterior completed was quite the task. So yeah, but let's see if they're working. They might not be working because I moved them. Let's type it in here. Yes. Play for trigger. It should, I feel like, be continuing to, we gotta turn it on. So, okay, let's just give it a pause. I was just looking for something to put in these picture frames, and I put this up while it was paused, and so you see this kind of black and white thing. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it looks good. And then I put an actual picture over on here, so it's not, I don't think a movie. I think it's just the image. Let's see. Image. Let's make sure it stays where I want it to. Yeah, wide. Okay. So it's gonna stay with this picture on this side. Good. Perfect. So I put this up because the image looked nice, and then I started playing it. Let's see if we can get it. No, it's not doing it yet. There's a weird little child's giggle that I think comes from this, and it's very unsettling. Let's see, I don't know if it's gonna do it while the music's going. But yeah, this, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's this, but I think it is. And I think it's supposed to just be like excited kids giggling over candy and stuff. But it is real freaky in the context of everything else. You come in here and then every once in a while there's just this ghostly child giggle. Which is like real nice. It's a good touch, but not one I intended to have. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good in this picture frame. Too bad you can't hear what it does. Every once in a while it'll say like the company name and everything, but I don't think it's going to while this song's playing, which is unfortunate. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.